Making a Murderer has shown us just how bad a corrupt legal system can be. To be accused is to lose. And over there in Manitowoc, we don't care whether you did it or you didn't. We're going to get you for it. You're left with two options, two boxes. You can either tick the box that says, I'm sorry for what I did, or I'm not sorry. You don't have any other options. Now, some wrongful convictions can be attributed to genuine mistakes, but not so with Making a Murderer. We've got Mike Holbach, and his grieving process has started even before we know that anything has happened to Teresa, other than the fact that she's gone missing. We have a spare key found by the officers that had the most obvious conflict of interest, and they find it after the seventh, or on the seventh search. The ex-boyfriend of Teresa, who inserts himself into the investigation, has possession of the day planner. How did he end up with it? We have cremains found behind Stephen Avery's garage, and yet not a single photograph was ever taken. We've all seen that iconic scriggle beside the ignition. The blood in the RAV4 clearly planted, and it's only in 6 places. It's not in all the other places where if somebody was actively bleeding, it should have been found. And talking about actively bleeding, who bleeds blood flakes? We've got a bullet found 4 months later with wood embedded in it. We have a DNA test, supposedly of a swab of the hood latch, and it's got 90 times more DNA than it should have. Moving on, we've got search results of the Dassey computer lied about and deliberately hidden from Dean Strang and Jerry Buting to avoid Denny. We've got cremains that are suspected human given back to the Holbachs 4 years later. Yeah, we have seen just how obstructive the legal system in Wisconsin is. We have a judge that ignores every violation uncovered by Kathleen Zellner. And as regards Brendan Dassey, we have him being ignored by the Supreme Court of the United States. Making a Murderer has inspired millions of people throughout the world. We're throughout the world, but we all live on Avery Road to voice our concerns. We've been graced with some wonderful songs by, amongst others, Stacey Seabrook, and more recently, Brandon Maddox. And there's others out there as well. Of course, a big shout out to the YouTubers out there. The black belt himself of YouTubers on Making a Murderer, Eric Dassey. If you ever wondered how far people are prepared to go, you only have to follow his YouTube career to date. And I suspect we've got a lot more to see from and hear from Eric Dassey. And we've had books by the likes of Chad Keller, Sean Atwood, Jerry Buting, and of course John Farrack. This case is clearly headed in one direction and one direction only, and that's going to be the inevitable exoneration of Stephen Avery. So that for the first time in American history, somebody will have been exonerated twice on such serious charges as attempted murder and murder. There's no doubt making a murder has inspired, as I say, millions of us to not just having watched the documentary to then form our opinions based on it, but we've delved right into the guts of this case, and we can see quite clearly that it was not a mistake to frame Stephen Avery. It was very, very deliberate. That is just how corrupt the legal system can be. Yet, thanks to Making a Murder to showing that to us. There is no doubt just how poor and evil the system over there in Manitowoc, Calumet and Wisconsin is. Bye for now.